What if one of the mightiest empires in human history fell not because it was weak, but because it grew too large to control? Could power itself become a trap? For over 2 centuries, the Persian Empire ruled as the most formidable civilization the ancient world had ever known. Stretching from the Indus Valley to the Aegean Sea, Persia commanded millions of people, countless cities, and dozens of cultures. Its kings, crowned as King of Kings, wielded unprecedented authority over armies, trade, and administration. Roads spanned thousands of miles, connecting remote provinces. Standardized taxation and law enabled distant governors to function with autonomy, yet under central oversight. Persia was an empire of both scale and sophistication, admired and feared in equal measure. The empire's foundation was laid by Cyrus the Great, whose rise demonstrated both military genius and political acumen. Cyrus united Persian tribes, defeating the Medes and other neighboring powers. Before embarking on campaigns that expanded the empire across Mesopotamia and beyond, unlike many conquerors of his time, Cyrus did not rule solely through terror. Instead, he implemented policies of tolerance, allowing conquered peoples to maintain their religions, cultures, and local leadership. This strategy cultivated loyalty and reduced rebellion, a remarkable innovation in empire building. For that era, the famous decree permitting the Jewish people to return to Jerusalem illustrates his diplomatic vision and ability to blend force with governance. Cyrus's successors, notably Cambyses and Darius I, continued the expansion and administrative reforms. Darius introduced a sophisticated provincial system, dividing the empire into satrapies, each governed by a satrap. Roads and courier systems allowed rapid communication across vast distances. A uniform currency and consistent taxation strengthened economic stability. For decades, Persia seemed invincible. Armies marched thousands of miles. Navies patrolled distant seas, and cities flourished under centralized yet flexible administration. The empire projected power that few could challenge and inspired awe across continents. Yet even as the Persian Empire grew stronger, its size and complexity sowed the seeds of eventual downfall. Governing millions across thousands of miles presented persistent challenges. Satraps, initially loyal, increasingly acted autonomously, exploiting resources for personal gain. Corruption became systemic. Provincial governors sometimes ignored royal commands, and localized rebellions erupted sporadically. Maintaining unity required constant vigilance and the deployment of military forces across distant provinces. The empire's own scales strained, its military, financial, and political systems simultaneously, stretching capacity to its limits. The Persian kings themselves faced internal weaknesses. Court intrigue, assassination plots, and succession disputes became increasingly common. The central authority of the king could be undermined by powerful advisors or ambitious family members. Luxury and isolation often distanced rulers from the practical realities of governing, leading to misjudgments and indecision. While the empire's bureaucracy was impressive, it also created layers of delay and inefficiency, making it vulnerable to rapid, decisive attacks from external enemies. External threats compounded internal fragility. The Greek city-states, though fragmented, presented formidable resistance to Persian expansion. The failed invasions of Greece, including the famous defeats at Marathon and Salamis, revealed vulnerabilities in Persian military strategy and exposed overconfidence. Geography itself worked against the empire. Mountainous terrain, narrow passes, and the maritime prowess of Greek navies limited the effectiveness of the massive Persian armies. Psychological impact was also significant. When Persian forces suffered defeats, both subjects and satraps began to question the invincibility of their rulers. By the time Darius III ascended the throne, the empire faced a combination of exhaustion, internal dissent, and looming external threat. Alexander of Macedon, a young and ambitious leader, did not conquer Persia merely with larger armies. He moved faster, exploited tactical innovations, and inspired unparalleled loyalty in his troops. Key battles such as Issus and Gaugamela showcased this combination of speed, discipline, and psychological warfare. Although outnumbered, Alexander's forces decisively defeated Persian armies. Darius fled, morale collapsed, and provinces began surrendering without resistance. The fall of Persepolis, the ceremonial heart of the empire, symbolized the end of Persian dominance. Whether burned deliberately or accidentally, the destruction of the city represented both military defeat and the collapse of administrative cohesion. Yet Persia's legacy did not vanish with conquest. Its innovations in governance, taxation, road networks, and tolerance influenced future empires, including Rome and even later Islamic caliphates. Persian culture, art, and language continued to resonate for centuries. Historians argue that Persia's collapse was less a matter of military failure than structural overreach. The empire's size, once its greatest strength, became its Achilles heel. Communication delays, regional autonomy, and dependence on local governors created vulnerabilities. Successive rulers struggled to maintain the balance that Cyrus had achieved, and the empire's systems became rigid, unable to adapt quickly to crises. In effect, Persia was defeated not just by Alexander, but by the limitations inherent in ruling a world-spanning empire. The story of the Persian Empire's downfall illustrates a recurring pattern in history. Absolute power, when unchecked and overly expanded, creates its own vulnerability. Empires that grow to large face the paradox of strength and fragility. Where logistical, political, and cultural pressures converge, even the most disciplined armies and the most brilliant administrators cannot indefinitely hold an empire together if the system itself becomes unsustainable. Persia's fate serves as a timeless lesson on the balance between expansion and governance. Ultimately, the Persian Empire's collapse was multifaceted. Ambitious external enemies, strategic miscalculations, internal corruption, succession crises, and sheer logistical difficulty all contributed. Yet the human element, pride, ambition, fear, and misjudgment played a central role. The downfall demonstrates that no matter how advanced or powerful a civilization may appear, it remains subject to the limits of management, loyalty, and adaptability. The lessons of Persia echo across time, warning modern civilizations of the dangers of overreach. The downfall of the Persian Empire was not the end of its influence. Cultural, administrative, and technological innovations persisted. Roads, bureaucratic practices, and strategies of tolerance inspired successive rulers. Even in defeat, Persia shaped the course of history. Its story reminds us that empires rise and fall, not only because of external forces, but because of the delicate interplay of internal cohesion, strategic vision, and human decision-making. Could a modern superpower today face the same fate as the Persian Empire if it became too vast to manage? Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth historical explorations.